Testing 1, 2. Hello everybody. Thanks for watching this documentary. This is a re-edit of a previous video that I created, and I decided, I guess, not to, as they say, bury the lead. This is a video that addresses something my family is actually coming into the open with. To bring this work forward as a document of an extraordinary healing adventure I had, and also to uncover something that's been buried in my past for a very long time, and to just shed light on it and to demonstrate that forgiveness is actually an expression of divine love, which is the ultimate healing. So I'm 59 years old today, and everybody really involved with the trauma that is referenced in this video is deceased. I'm a survivor, and I'm a survivor for many reasons, and I continue to be a survivor with your help. Thank you for everybody who supported me in my campaign to create medical healing as well as spiritual. And thank you to all my spiritual masters, my friends, family, and community for helping me every day of the week with your love, your kindness, your generosity.
I asked the shaman, how do I know this is real? He actually said, let the medicine tell you, which is a great answer, because truly the work for me when I was doing this ayahuasca was the same as the spiritual psychology. I started my sobriety journey in 1995, so I don't drink or do recreational drugs. My intention for these 2 weeks was to show up as a business owner and as a loving partner for my partner Mark. This was me stepping into a way to also deal with any residual addictions that I had crop up at that time. This particular, they call it plant medicine, it's called plant medicine. It's effective with addiction and also post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, physical maladies. It's a deep medicine. I had a relapse that was connected with another addiction 3 or 4 years ago, and it cleared up quickly. But by that time, I had began my recovery with a very powerful application of spiritual psychology combined with the enhanced spiritual work and disciplines that I had gifted myself for the last 10 years. And it was what I felt to be a clearing of karma, and it happened simultaneously with me going to the Amazon and doing 7 or 8 different ayahuasca ceremonies with some masterful shaman. When I did this work, it was a very conscious decision, because I had to really evaluate it in terms of my sobriety. This decision had to be very mindful, and it had to be a calling. And it proved to be extraordinary. It was, first of all, a great adventure, which I am all about adventure. But second of all, it uncovered a deep trauma from a place of unconditional love. And it showed me this trauma in explicit detail, which I knew happened, but it was below my memory because it was so extreme. A full cup this time, and it began. A flowing, slightly nauseous feeling accompanied by slowly undulating visions of rose, of blue, of green, occasionally orange and fire, once a shining silver and gold, brilliant crystal. The visions were indescribably beautiful and multidimensional, evolving constantly like a kaleidoscope. But I mean, needless to say, you cannot do this intense beauty justice. I felt the presence of a woman, very ancient and very beautiful. I would occasionally speak to her, and at one point I asked her if she had a sense of humor, but I didn't get a reply. I vomited at certain points. I mean, a real purge, and I just roared the vomit out like a jungle cat. I began to work my own medicine, calling out, "You are no longer needed. I release you. Thank you, but I don't require you any longer." All of this happened in the psychedelic experience of the medicine visions. Just constantly evolutions of stunning, fractal, intricate, multidimensional patterns and beauty. I would yawn. I would yawn and would pass gas. I would belch. I'd, stomach gurgling from the strange potion.
I thought it would be really nice to take a tour of this really beautiful house that I'm living in. One thing I really like is that the houses are so far apart. It's like you have your own property. I have a huge house surrounded by jungle. I'm hearing monkeys in the trees, lizards crawling all around. Kind of a bit of a jungle palace. It's got 2 stories. Beautiful veranda. This is the first floor. Got a really nice mosquito-wrapped bed in there. The bathroom does not have running water. There's actually a cistern up on the roof. We have Mother Ayahuasca. Somebody left a nice drawing. Just a really beautiful place. Very wild and place to hang your clothes up. It takes about 2 or 3 days for clothes to dry in the tropics. But sitting in this hammock, just listening to the rain, the birds, it's just quite exceptional. We have a second floor, beautiful dome with thatched wood. Out here, it's so delightful. In the morning, they bring you fruit and tea. This beautiful veranda here. Enjoy the jungle all around you. It's actually very beautiful, very peaceful. So had this wonderful, amazing flower bath to really prepare us for the spirits. How was your flower bath?
Great.
Mine too. You see, pretty much got all this wonderful aromatic plant water and flower water all over my body. It will really sink in and prepare us.
This is my first time here in Peru, near the Amazon jungle. Yesterday was the first day we come here, and it was very exciting. And when I saw this place from the river, it was like something very unusual and beautiful. You can feel this jungle with your skin, but the energy around this, it's very positive. We had a meeting with shaman Jose. He talked about the energy is a trust. I really believed him, and I do believe now because I can feel it. In my professional life, I'm working for automation, creating robots and artificial intelligence far, far away from this jungle, from spiritual life. My intention to come here is to find like a reason. Why do I do all this stuff in my life? It's like see what's like the other perspective in this life. And for my personal one, It's to get this experience into my inner world, to have this connection with outer world. First I heard about ayahuasca maybe 10 years ago, but I was young, it wasn't the right time. But after that, maybe half a year ago, it was another stage of my life. I tried to think about what I am and what I should do next, maybe to have some more meaningful way of my life. In one moment, this thought about ayahuasca experience just came to my mind, and I have some feelings that this is the time to try. Because I think about it for the 10 years sometimes, and now it's the time to try for me. It was a surprise for me that this place is so well maintained and so beautiful. It's really simple, it's a natural way, it's built in a natural way, but it has everything that you need. I was really expressed how beautiful it looks, especially when you wake up in the morning and just stare on the beautiful jungle, beautiful house, everything is beautiful. It's an amazing place with good energy. I really like it. You feel yourself in the middle of nature.
In these 7 ceremonies, which took place over 2 weeks, they were somewhat they could be a little punishing, a little grueling, but it was in a jungle, which the boy in me was just walking all over, seeing the tarantulas and the monkeys, and just blissed out. And the gorgeous stars of the Amazon with no noise pollution, this incredible part of the world. But experiencing this ancient substance. So, there's all sorts of animals in here tonight in my cabin. This will be our first guest. There he is. He's quite cute and lovely. It's a pretty little gecko. Hello, how you doing? Say hello to us. And there's another visitor who's a little scarier. Hello, you giant tarantula. He was out here a second ago. He's just waiting for an excuse to come back out, I think. Oh, there he comes. Here he comes. How you doing today? You're quite an interesting creature. Gonna get into bed with me tonight? Come on up. Oh, you're gonna go up there, are you? So, I'm about to do my first ceremony, and I'm ready. Just listening to the rainforest and enjoying all the bugs flitting around the candle. I'm wearing all white. This beautiful hand-embroidered shirt that I bought in Iquitos for the occasion. Just a quick video to connect. I may or may not do a video after this ceremony. I'll just let what happens. Going into this, I have very simple intentions, which is trust and surrender. With the spiritual psychology training I've had, you work with others to bring forward anything that's ready to just be let go of. And it can be very intense and very painful. And it was just bringing stuff up, experiencing them fully and letting them go and doing the work that I did with that. Now with ayahuasca, it's more direct. It's like a direct dial. It's more passive. All you do actively is you take this medicine and you release and you relax. You do the work beforehand, which is diet-based, intention-based, and you let the medicine take its thing. We're bringing up like all these issues and these emotions and this purging them out. it was bringing forward anything that was stuck. It basically foretold that I had something right there. And because of the trauma, the nature of the trauma, that's where the trauma was centered. But it also showed me like a mass. So I was like, I was journaling like crazy. Mother Ayahuasca showed me a mass inside me. It looked black, like waste or foul and dead. But within me is a heavy waste. It was understood that this mass that looked like cancerous, dried, cindery lava would be what would be removing. I even heard the word cancer, but I didn't have the sense that this was, necessarily a medical definition. A few months afterwards, I got my diagnosis of prostate cancer. And the medicine, this ayahuasca, foretold this. It's in my journals. And that was where all the healing was. And that's where I kind of was aware of this trauma. So I had my work cut out for me. Everything that I journaled about, that the medicine told me in these ceremonies, really was like a blueprint of the coming year.
Ой, она ящерицу сожрала?
Да, бедная ящерица.
Ну да, наверное, это было не очень приятно.
Так что есть там что-то же. Какой алманки вроде бы. Я видела, как маленькие. Они не похожи на нас, смотри, у них лапки не как у обезьян, как у белой.
I already spent here one night, very unusual for me. There's a lot of sounds from jungle, the sound of the drops, of raindrops. Yesterday I swam in the river Amazon under the rain, and it's amazing. I can't even describe this in words, like a dream that come true.
Usatikaya yoraka shamavi paneya bo haniwa koyo drama wa no mishina ponta chinabe drama ponta mai kano yonta da drama soa kano yonta na drama soa kano yonta da drama.
This time it took longer to come on, but overall it was not quite as intense, but intense enough. I was sleep deprived and I was pretty exhausted, so I was actually grateful for this. The visions were darker, mud and earth, and the tendrils a softer pastel. And sometimes the icaros were hard to listen to, and I moved and I writhed, and it was a darker and a murkier experience. There we go. Again, the medicine was quite intense, and this time the shaman gave me a full dose. There were 2 intense vomits and tears and laughter. In this beautiful jungle pavilion, I had visions of being scanned almost by an insect-like creature. Soft greens and blues and rose colors, intricate shapes. And the first revelation came, is to protect my solitude. The ceremony then seemed to be restoring power and virility. It was undeniably sexual. My legs were occasionally drawn into the air, and my sex received direct power and healing. I would throw my arms and legs open and writhe and contort and sit up and place my head in my hands, all the while the intense psychedelic visions seethed and erupted and transformed and swirled The real key with ayahuasca is to allow, and my body again seemed constantly in motion. I would suddenly sit up and I was shown indescribable and blissful vistas, and my arms would dance and then spread wide to embrace it and be utterly still and transfixed. It was really great to experience the divine feminine. I felt that Mother was being seductive with me. She asked me if she could lay her eggs inside of me. She showed me her sex organs, all flower, insect-like rainbow pastel shimmering tendrils. My breath would speed up and I would pant, and I felt a small pain in my prostate and received a message: return to younger. I felt that there would be many tests given to me for this. This was the beginning of a process of masculine restoral.
Welcome to the rainforest.
The whole experience was very, very different and very valuable for me. The last ceremony was like the highest peak of the process, and like a spotlight on the whole experience due these 5 ceremonies. Some of them were very difficult, and they showed me up something that prevent me from being happy. It was like part of me just started to grow and to become more mature and actually able to be happy. So I feel myself like integrated with all my parts, and there is a lot of love and joy in world and in me inside that I will take with me to the bigger world. So I'm really, really grateful for this experience.
In one word, my experience was amazing. Well, I read a lot about the ayahuasca, but I never can imagine that things like that can happen in real life. Because when you read about something, it's really far away from the real experience. Now I know that it's a thing that really can transform your life, that can fully like rebuild you from the ground. It can solve all your problems. It can give you the true nature of life, the true understanding, essence of life. In one moment I just realized that it was like an answer that I'm looking for the whole my life. It was like everything that I need, because I understand how much I suffer in my life and why I am suffering. And when the reason came, there are no more suffering anymore. Also, in Refugio Altiplano, they do a great job, a great shamanic job and so on. Now I realize that you should choose a shaman who works with you as you choose a doctor who will make a surgery on your brain, as example. It's so much important. And here I can completely trust the people who do this job. I can completely open myself without any worries, without any fear, without everything. And for me, it was amazing experience. Even now I feel that I was completely new.
Adios.
Adios.
See you again. God bless you.
What do you got there?
So this is a piranha, which I caught right in the area where you and I have been swimming.
No, don't. Don't jump into the river. I want you.
What brought me here? That's a good question. A general persistent feeling of unhappiness and tiredness with life. So just coming here to try and find out what's at the core of that. Refugio Altiplano has been magnificent. Everything has been very easy. At Iquitos Airport, I got picked up, got accommodation. Mariella took me down to the boat, and the boat trip here was amazing. That was incredible, being on the Amazon for the first time. Everyone here has been very welcoming and very supportive. Room's always clean. Food's been great. Interpreters have been fantastic. Shamans have been amazing. Yeah, the whole experience has been great.
There were all sorts of beautiful surprises in the jungle, and it really helped slow me down. Refugio Altiplano has such a different pace, and it was so important that I was able to fall into a slower pace of life. The real thing that impressed me is the quality of the shamanic work here. There's so much integrity, so much conscientiousness, and so much mastery and effort that goes into the work here at the shamanic level. I received a message. This is something big. Are you ready? I was a child about 5 or 6. My legs began to splay wide open with my knees bent and my sex exposed. It occurred to me that this was the position when it happened. I saw my grandmother and my grandfather. I knew what had happened. I saw his face. I realized and understood their sickness fully and began weeping because they were destroying my innocence. I realized I had never mourned my innocence, and I did so now. I asked Mother to heal them both with divine light. I asked again. I could also see their love beyond their sickness. Bud, I realized, was infertile. And in doing this to me, I realized this was his way of propagating. The revelation stunned me and filled me with empathy. I actually laughed aloud. I saw him as wanting to be loved by his grandchildren. And I saw his face, and I looked at him with love. I called him my brother and sent him healing. I turned to my grandmother. I saw her love and blessed her as a divine mother. What was remarkable is that this forgiveness was just simple and easy. It didn't require any effort. It was just there. It was all. I asked the shaman, how do I know this is real? He actually said, let the medicine tell you. I ran my hands through my hair, and my mother appeared. I sensed her love. And I realized that rubbing my head with a towel really strongly after a shower was one of the only physical intimacies that she permitted with us. Except for greeting us with hugs after long periods of being away. And I'm sure there was more. Mother Ayahuasca finally shared a joke. She has a sense of humor. How man is always trying, somewhat futilely and ineptly, to mimic nature. So I was able to stand and go home, where I was awake for many hours more, still under the influence with beautiful and intense visions.
Here I could make a wish. I think I'd pass. There's nothing more to do. No cigarettes, no sleep, no lie, no past. Nothing to eat, no books to read.
The messages I had received were, I am a messenger, I am a channel, and to prepare the way for this. To connect with my body and my physicality, that the spirits themselves were envious of the physical form, to explore silence and integrity, to honor nature and my natural self, and to slow down.
Ni de se da yo pa no que kaya ke ane yang kong pa